Speaking of the game being much too large, I was looking for windows to bejewel, and I stumbled upon this area, the bricky windows. And I'm like, okay, I already know I don't like bricky. I know I'm going to have to sort of slog through. But look how many are still left for bejeweling. There are 18. That is stupid. That is just stupid. Look at these other ones. This one, from gold to jewel, was just 8 puzzles. From gold to jewels, that's 10. Ooh, a little bigger, but not really. This one was 10. All right. This one was 9. This one was... I think this one was a lot. This one was 12. Ooh, boy. This one was 11. You see, we kind of have a theme here. This one was a lot. That was 15. But most of them are 10 or less. There's a few that are kind of pushing the 11s, but that's kind of where we sit. There are 18 of these. This is not the most interesting part of the game. If you're going to say we should do it the most puzzles here, you should put the most puzzles in a part of your game that's fun. This is one of the least fun parts of the game, and you're making it the biggest part of the game. I suppose it was done that way because bricky is a more difficult rule to understand because it functions in such a different way to all the other rules. I get it, but no. This wore out its welcome 15 puzzles in, and there's 70 of them. God damn. Like, anyone could have told you this during development. You shouldn't do this. All right, well, let's try to do them. I imagine these will be better puzzles than the ones I did earlier because usually the hardest ones are the best designed in this game. So let's jump in. But okay, the way bricky rule works, in case you don't know, you're like, what's this old person complaining about for no reason? Bricky means can't have point or 4 borders meet. Can't ever have that shape of wall. And if you're looking at the going, okay, like how are you supposed to know that stuff? It looks like you got to do a lot of like almost pixel hunt observation. You are right. It is very much pixel hunts in puzzle form. And that's one of the worst parts of adventure games from the 90s, and they're doing it here. So we can only have these shapes. These two shapes can't be connected, because then there's no way to make these together. So we've got to put a wall here, which means that these shapes do have to be connected. Means I can't go this way or that way. We got to block both of those. So here we go. We get our first piece. That's an elbow. Now, whatever piece this is, well, we could bring this over. We can, whatever. These two pieces right here can't be connected because then we'll always have a problem. So we got to have this. So we got another elbow piece right here. Yeah, we got another elbow right there. That's got to be. Yeah, it can't be anything else because we have that problem. So there's your elbow. This has to bend out, and then it could be a thing or it could just be an elbow. Can't be an elbow because make brickiness. There you go. This piece comes out and at least bends, but it could go here. What happens if it doesn't go here? This would have to be an elbow, and we'd be fine. If this goes here, we have an elbow. That seems fine as well. This can't be a piece, and that can't be a piece. So all of this needs to be joined as an elbow. So this has to be a wall, because either this moves or it doesn't, but either way it doesn't go down. So we can't have a wall here. That's going to give us a nice piece like so. Make it red, actually. This piece here can't ever move that way, so it's got to bend somewhere. This now can't be bricky, so we do in fact have this. We have ourselves a wonderful elbow piece. This can't be bricky, so we're going to put a nice purple here. All right, so far, fine. Oh, hold on. There's a spot there. Spot there. It's weak. Let's take that. If we move here, we got to move all the way up. Oh, hold on. This actually does just have to be an S piece. Because if it isn't, if we block this here, we have that. So there we go. That's got to be an S piece. Now this piece has to move in and bend, and it can't go any further than that. This piece has to move in and bend. It can't go any further than that. So now, got a lot of options for this one. That can't go. This. Oh no, we can't move this up because if we move this up, it will be bricky. Yeah, so far this isn't the worst bricky one. Like I'm not having to really hunt for the bricky stuff. It's presenting itself in a much more, it's an easier fashion to read. So I got to do that. So I can't do that. This has got to be where the bend is. That's to be blocked. So now that can't be a bend. So let's put this here. No, I'm gonna put this here. Well, one of these is actually gonna have to move in. So I'm gonna change this to. I don't know. I'm gonna change this to. I'm gonna change this to purple. and that to red, and then this to red. So that's got to be that. It means this can't be blocked, so we got to have that happen. It's blocked. I still could do this, or I could do that. This would force a piece here, which is fine. No, I can't do this. I can't make an S piece here. To make an S piece here, I got to put this elbow. I'd have to make an S actually be fine. I just can't do that. This piece, yeah, this piece can't go up that way. So it's either this or it's part of that. It's really not that helpful, actually. Can I get something out of these? Moving here, one of these pieces moves in. I know that much. It's this one. It's here. Okay, no, it can't be here. Right? The reason it can't be this one is because it's going to create a potential bricky. But this piece has to move down, and it can't move down again, so it's just forcing it. So we got to move it this way, which is still going to be this problem, but now we can fill it with this piece here. This piece moves in, and it could be blocked here, or we could keep it going. We're not totally sure, but that is blocked. So here we have a similar thing. One of these two pieces is going to move in. If it's this one, we're fine. If it's this one, this is a problem. Can't be this one, because this piece has to move out. Now what do we put there? So it is, in fact, it's blue. So we bring this down. Those are done. We can't have that, so we've got to have these be the same piece. And then they can't move down here. It's got to be this way. So now here, both of these pieces would need to move in. So if I put a wall here, we have a problem. So this has to come down. Now this one has to be like so, and it is, in fact, this way. That was a good puzzle. I'm happy to see that. I feel like the ones that are higher difficulty are just generally going to be better, even if I happen to not like them or have a hard time with them. They're just going to be better. My main issue here is there are 18 of them. There's just too many. I promise you, I'm saying this with as much love as possible to you watching this video right now. You do not have 1,200 good ideas. You just don't. So, like, don't try to put 1,200 good ideas in a game. You just don't have that many. Just curate it, workshop it, get it down to a smaller amount, and then if you find out later everyone wants more puzzles out of your game, put in a level editor like this game has. Or DLC. We added a new section for people who wanted more. But don't come at me with 1,200 puzzles going, all of this is important. We put it in the game because we think you need to know all these puzzles, because I do not. I missed this one. All regions must be dominoes. God damn it. Okay, so thinking about where the dominoes go here, we can't have this move up, right? Well, no, we can do... It's just, I can't do this, but it doesn't mean... It doesn't tell me much here. It just tells me whatever's here can't... That's what it's telling me, is I can't move. These have to go like that. This piece, then, cannot move down. This piece would have to be... Yeah, this piece would have to move one of those two directions, so it's like that. This is the same thing. There you go. That's how you get this one. That's kind of clever, actually. So we got to do that. Now, this piece here, it's got to be like that. So this piece now has to move one of those two directions, so it can't go there. There's a brickiness problem here. So this piece got to move in, that was going to move in, that was going to move in. There we go. That's how we get that spot. Means these are connected. Those are connected. Those are connected. So far, so good. And then from here, I think we can solve the puzzle like so. Great. Brilliant. Feels like a puzzle would have been great to solve earlier on for me to understand some bricky stuff. But again, because the game's open world, there's a lot of times that this happens where I go out of order, but the game told me to go out of order, so I'm doing exactly what they said, and it's resulting in something kind of stupid. There's still more 5s. I'm not jumping to 6s till I'm done with the 5s. That's what's going to happen. There's just a lot of these. There's a 5. Bricky with rose windows. Can't use the same logic here necessarily because it's not dominoes. There's something with these, though. So whatever piece this square is, right? It's got to move into one of those circles, but only one of those circles. But there's nothing that says, oh, we have to block it like we did the previous puzzle, because we can just do this. How many regions do we have total? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I suppose if I took this one, it wouldn't actually, I'd just go around. It's really not that hard. Is there any spot that's like, I don't see a spot that's on. I just know that I can't do that. So this has got to touch, this has got to touch one of those two. That's all I know. It's got to touch one of those two. There's got to be some sort of like mathematical thing I could figure out from this. If I go in, one of these two is spoken for. These are the pieces that are restricted here. See what I mean? These are the ones that are all restricted. So I guess these are our 6 regions. Not necessarily. So I was thinking like these are the 6. There's no way any of these regions touch each other. And that's true for some of them. The blue and the orange cannot touch each other. And that's because the blue has to take a circle here, not this one. And the orange has to take a square there, but not that one. But this circle could theoretically touch that triangle. It would be a bit of a road to get there. Or that triangle. You know what I mean? But like this, and this square could touch that circle without any trouble, right? No, this circle's got to touch a triangle here. This has got to touch a triangle here. So no, these can't touch each other. Is there any way? So I can rule out blue and orange from ever touching. That's easy. Can I rule out orange from touching the other ones, or blue from touching the other ones? Well, I think actually maybe it is true that I can't touch any of the other ones. Yeah, I should have thought of it this way. The orange can touch the green without going, because it's got to touch a square, but this triangle has to touch a circle. So no. So these are in fact my 6 regions. Okay, that gives me something. Because there are the 6 regions, what do I know from that? So that means I got to touch a triangle with this one. The available triangles are one of these two and one of these two. Here, I'm going to do it this way. We're going to say, we're going to go 1, 2, that's a great 2 I drew there. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. This might not be the way to do this. This might be an easier puzzle than I'm making it right now. Now, the triangle is going to touch one of these circles. I'm not going to worry about marking these. We know that. It's just what other circles can we touch? We obviously can't touch the circles that are in other regions. Now, this can take, the triangle can touch these. I'm actually going to mark it to the other corner. This corner here could also be what the triangle would come around. Oh, sorry, not circles, touching squares. It can touch squares here. Right? It could reach down around this way. It could also touch squares here. Yes. So these are places where the triangle, this green section can come into these areas. Now, the yellow needs a square, just like these. So both of these now are going to come here. And because of this, we know that no other... So this is going to be orange plus either green or yellow. This is going to be purple plus either green or yellow. That's what we can get from that. Now this red needs to grab a circle. So it can grab a circle over here. That's a beautiful 3 I drew. It can also grab a circle over here. Now this blue, now this is going to be different. Blue, it needs a triangle. And the triangles are going to be grabbed here. Hold on a second. Let me rethink this. I did this wrong. Square needs to grab a circle. That's a circle. That's a circle. Is that right? It needs a circle here or there. Cool. That was correct. Not up here. I'm dumb. It could grab the triangle here and then not be able, it'd be stupid. So the 4 now needs a triangle. The triangles are here and here. Now the orange region needs to grab a triangle, which once again is there and there. And this triangle here needs to grab a circle, which is going to be here and here. Okay, so we got pairs. So it isn't like rotating set where like it's 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 1. You know what I mean? It's 1, 2, 4, 5, 3, 6. So we got to watch out for crossing stuff. So let's look at the 1, 2s. These are the 1, 2s. Now, if the green one here took a square over here, doesn't really matter to me which one it takes. It is going to necessarily block this one from reaching the other. Well, if no matter what I do, if I take this one, it's blocked. But if I took, say, I'm just going to randomly grab that. It isn't blocked. We do have the ability to come through this way. See what I mean? Wouldn't be this one. That would be over here. No, wait, which, hold on. No, it is. It's, sorry, I miscounted the numbers. It would be like this. Now, the trouble is, doing this, if I grab here, this 3 can no longer get to the side. So I believe we have to bring green down here or here. I believe that's going to be the case. I'm going to just double check. If the 1 goes over to here, if it touches this one, it could also go around this way. But yeah, we always block unless it goes around. Yeah, there's no way to do it without that. If it goes this way, yeah, there's just no way to do it. If the 2 ever goes here, it's going to cut off, right? Because it can't go around the green any other way. It's always going to cut it off. So 2, so I can further narrow down 2 and 1. That is for sure. It's going to be green, it's going to be yellow. I don't know which side it's going to be on yet, but if 1 goes down here, now 1 could easily just take that, right? No, because now the thing is 5 has to get up here somewhere. So that means the 1 has to be this one, because if it's here, right, no matter what I do, it's going to create a band that 5 and 4 can't escape. Therefore, it's this one coming this way. Now, if I continue back up to this point, that's a problem. So the orange needs to come out and the blue needs to come out. So I need to come through here. Like so. And I can't touch that because it's going to be one of these 2 circles. So it could be here, I don't know. But for sure, I believe this is the start of that. So the 1 is complete there. Now 2's got to be one of these 2, I'm not sure which. Can I do the same thing over here with the 3 and the 6? Now, if I said the purple goes over here, that means red's got to get down here. And how's it going to happen? I'd have to go around, and it actually seems totally doable. If purple's down here, well, if purple's here, for instance, there's no way to avoid blocking in. No, orange can get out. If it goes the other way, then we're in trouble. Doesn't exactly give me the answer quite yet. Is there any brickiness I can watch out for? Because that's the thing is, I got a bricky rule that I haven't even really thought of too much, except the only thing that bricky's done is start me off knowing that I have to take these, because if I don't, I have bricky. That's the only thing that's done for me. Now, any of these other ones, getting 4s and 5s up here. Is there any way that orange touches one of these 2? How about that? Because if orange touches this, well, if it cuts straight across, the blue is now trapped. It would have to then go all the way around, right? And then it's still going to trap yellow. It's always going to trap yellow. Yellow won't be able to get over here. Like it'll always cut off. See what I mean? To get... No, if it's here, it's fine. It could be this. Is there any way it could be like this one? Yeah, I think so. It just feels like this is a good move, like sticking close to the edges. I just don't know for sure. I'm trying to find a break. Can blue ever touch one of these? Blue touching this feels like it's going to be blocking something. So yeah, somebody won't be able to get into there. If I go around this way, however, I can't go through there because orange... Yeah, I don't think blue can ever touch that. I think blue has to touch this one. Yeah, if this isn't blue, if blue is here, right? Blue from there to there is going to be a problem because it can't go around this left edge because it's a trap, right? It can go this sort of thing because there's got to be a red or a purple getting into there. So it has to go around the red and the purple, but it can't go around this way because orange has got to get in. So it's got to be, yeah, so I think it's got to be over here because that way it can just cut through, you know what I mean? Which means that orange does in fact go up here. And the only way for it to do that is to come around this way. Which is going to force purple to grab that one. So now the 5 is done, so this is now the 4. So yellow can actually just really easily go around this edge. And this can easily go into there. And now it has to go around that way. So the blue has to come up this side. So now let me I'm taking out the numbers once I do them, so I only see the ones here. 4 goes there, 3 and 6 I still don't know. So 3 could easily be up here, and 6 could easily be down here. And I think that's in fact how it needs to go, like so. And then, so this has to be around. Yeah, at this point it's just that. This puzzle was probably easier than I made it, but that's the end. I actually kind of like that puzzle because I like doing that type of work on a puzzle, like working out logically what to do, rather than the type of puzzle where I have to try literally everything until I find it. Those are always awful. This is much better. Bricky precision. Okay. Let's start here because we know we have to make this move. We can't bring that over, so we know we got to do this. So either we've got a C shape or an L shape. I don't know which one we're going to have there. This is just going to come out. These two have to be together, and they're not part of either of these units. So that's that. This can't be, so it's got to be there. Ah, if red moves in here, we have Bricky. So no, we have an L shape here. I'm going to make it my L color. That's L. So this piece here, if I were to say this is a separate region, now this is to come out, and then it's not part of that, and it can't go there because it blocks it in. So these are all the same region. This is a P shape. So now here is going to be a Y shape. The reason is we have to take these 3. We have to continue. We can't move up. That's going to be that. Now, this shape here, this shape's got to come out this far. The reason is if it doesn't, we don't have enough space. Can't be part of either of these. So this can move up if we like, or this can move down. Either way, this does have to move over. I can't put this here because it's going to block that in, so we have to make this here, which means this is, in fact, the shape. So we've got a P shape there. This now can't go, so we have to have this be the V shape. This, let's see. Will that cause problems doing anything else? Let's start over here. This shape down here, got to move out. It could move up, but it definitely has to move this far. So it could be an N shape. Ah, it can't be the F shape. It has to be the N shape here. With my N color. There you go. Now that's there, so we can't have, well, we couldn't have that anyway, so we've got a piece coming out this way. So this is the F shape. I'm going to keep it yellow. This has got to move up. It's going to come out. Now here, I can't move this over because, yeah, that would cause a problem. So it's either a Y shape here, which means this piece comes out like so, or this is an I shape. I'm going to change this real quick. I'm going to make this the orange shape because this might be the I shape, which is yellow. It's there. Bring that up and out. This can't move down. This has got to move that way at least once. Yeah, so now I have to have an I shape. So if I don't have an I shape there, there's nothing that's going to fit in that spot. So this is the I shape. This is another N shape. and then this has to move in. So this could be another N shape or it can be a V shape. Not totally sure. Let's see. How to make that there. These have to be the same unit. This could go here just fine, or it could be like that. Either way, if this is up here, these three go together. If this is not, these four go together. So these three always go together, and they always come out. So either we have a P shape or we have a Y shape here. This has got to move down. All right, do I have any brickiness happening? I don't see any brickiness. This is fine, this is fine. If I were to block here, say, I'd have to bring this up. And then I couldn't move this over. I'd have to bring it up, make an L shape. I'd have to make a P shape here. I have to do this and do this. Does it create brickiness? Not only does it not create brickiness, it looks like it just solves the puzzle. Which is unfortunate. I wished I had broken it rather than solve it, but that's fine. Whatever. I think this solves the puzzle. I could be wrong. Let me just double check. That's correct. There we go. That was fine. Not my favorite, but it was a solid, well-designed puzzle. So bricky with size separation. So size separation is very important to me that I pick one color for every size. And I've tended towards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've tended toward that. For some reason, that's just where I've ended up. Anyway, this 3... this is going to be interesting. So this has to happen. Now, these two threes have to be connected, because if they are not connected to each other, like if I move this to the right, it has to bend up. But if I decide not to do that, if I don't move these in, then we have bricky. So I've got to move that in and make that a single piece, like so. Now this here, if these two threes are not connected to each other, right? So like, if they are not the same three, then they can't touch each other. So I've got to move them out like so, creating brickiness. Therefore, they are, in fact, the same unit. Don't know if it goes this way or this way yet, but it does mean I got to block that and that. These two, I think, is the same deal. If they're not part of the same unit, then they're going to be touching each other, so it's an elbow of some kind, so we got to block these. Meaning 4 has got to move at least there or there. Same with this one. This 3 has to be that. There's no other way. Any other arrangement is going to touch something wrong. So that's 3. This 3 can't move down. If I put a wall here with this 2, this now can't be a solo region. So it has to be at least a 2, but it's touching 1. At least 3 is touching 1. 4 is touching 1. This would have to be larger than a 4. Have to be at least 5, right? If I do that. Whereas if I do it this way, this can touch the 4. So I don't know. I don't know what that. Let's see. This 3 can't move left. If this 3 moves left, it can't continue to move left, and this can't move up, so we would have that. Therefore, it has to move down, and then it can't move. It's got to be straight. Let's see. I can always move this in. I don't know. This is going to bend somewhere. So this 3 is part of that. It's got to be that way. This 3 could move in this way. Well, no. This 3 moves to the right. It can't move any further, which means I have bricky. Therefore, that goes there. So, could it move down? It can move down just fine. It can do quite a lot of things without any problem. Can't move up. So it's always got to move to the left at least one space. Now, if it moves, it can't move up, so it could move here or there. This would force bricky. That's bricky right there. You can't do that. So this is a straight line. This has to move out, and then it can't move up, so it's got to be a straight line here. These two have to be the same region. Don't know if it's the 4 or if it's a separate region yet. Let's see. Anything else I got from this? 2 moving up is fine. It would force the 4 down. Right, because if it doesn't, then it's a bricky thing right here. which would force the 3 out. Yeah, this isn't going to work. The 2 moving up is not going to work, because now what goes here? A 1 creates bricky. 2 is there, 3 is there, 4 is touching that. We can't do that. So this is the 2 has to move down. Now this could be a 1. Yeah, it's not bricky to make that a 1. Or this could be part of the 4. Hold on. This can't be here. So, and this can't move down and touch because it's 2 4s touching. So this is a new region here. That isn't the 4. So this region is at least a 2. It can't, because it can't be a 1 or it's bricky. It can't be a 3 because touching. It can't be 4 because touching him. So this is in fact just a 2. This is a 1. Now this can't be here, so the 3's got to connect like so. This can't connect there. That's bricky, so we got to do that. This is done. That would be bricky, so this has to be part of the 4 because it can't be a 1, so it can't be a 2 or a 3. So there you go. Now one of these two. Either way, we prevent brickiness, so we're good. Let's see. We got another one. What's here? This could be a solo for all I know. This piece can move over. How far can this move in any direction? I don't think this can move all the way up. If this moves all the way up, we would have that, and then we would have bricky here. Yeah. So this has to move at least one more space. Now, I need something here that... Yeah, this can't be a solo piece, right? So if I stop this here, this can't be a solo piece. Therefore, this piece is not the 4. Because if the 4 moves down here, we have a solo. So the 4 can't move this far, so it's got to move up. That takes care of this. Can't move this far, so it's got to move over here. Now we could move it in, or we could say that's a solo. We don't know. If I did this, if I put a wall here, this can't be a solo because of bricky, so it has to be at least 2. But it can't be a 3 because it'll touch him, and it can't be the 4. So this would just be a 2, and we'd have to move that in. That's totally fine. If I move this over, we have a piece here, which could easily be a 1 or a 2. Okay, how about this? If I do this piece, now these two have to be part of the same region. And then this has to go in because we want to avoid bricky, or is that... Yeah, this has to go in to avoid bricky. I think this actually just solves the puzzle, Alex. Yeah, this just solves the puzzle. Observe. Now in here, I don't want a 3, I want a solo there. Oh no, this is broken. Ah, it's just because of this one section. I'd have to put a 2 here, and then I can't do something there. Alright. Thought it solved the puzzle, but I was dumb. This can't move up. This does have to move over. Then this has to be a 2. So here, this is a 1 or a 2. Either way is fine. Now, this moving up is fine. This moving across is fine. This moving across is fine because now we can have... Nah. We have this. There. That's it. That's a pretty cool puzzle too. Yeah, the 5s and great. Well, 5s are hit and miss, but they're more hits than misses. But oh, there's still so many. I've been playing for half an hour. Do we have any more 5s I can find? There it is. Oh, great. Palisades, my favorite. That's got to go across. Bricky, precision. What do I do here? Either there's a wall there or there. I'm not sure. So I've got a new region here. So I can block it one way, but just not the other. Or I could not block either way. Let's see. This, if we move this way, our corner's going to come out like so. If we move this way, the corner comes out like that. Can this break it? We would have to move this in, so we'd have to have that happen. We'd have to take this and that. Right, if this moves in, we would force all of these moves. Now, it feels like I'm taking a lot of steps ahead to guess this, which feels very much like a guess. This piece would have to come out, right? And this piece coming out now, if it takes this space, it can't move any further. So it always has to take that one. So it either takes this or that. This doesn't help me too much, but like this all seems to work. I'm looking for a way to make this not work. If I go the other way, can I connect to here? Yeah? No, I can't. If I connect here, right, I got to make this a corner, so it can't bend up because it's straight away, so I have to bend down. Now this is an orphan cell, so we'd have to block here. This is, in fact, moving away. But it can move in a number of directions. This would actually set up another piece here, which would mean I'd have to go in this way. And it could be here or there. Well, this is bricky, so it'd actually have to be like this. So we're making some forced moves. We'd have to have that, so now this would be a straight line across. And then this piece would come across. It feels like I'm trying to work out logically how to narrow stuff down. But if in the process of doing that I just have to solve the puzzle like what I'm doing here, that's just a guess. That means that I have guessed the entire puzzle. Then I couldn't put a wall. I'd have to do this. And then it wouldn't be here. It would be that. Well, actually, it's broken down here. It's way before we get anywhere else. Way before we get anywhere else. Found it. If I do this, it's broken because we've got to do this, right? Now, this piece can't bend in because we can only make 5. So we have one more piece to add. It won't be to the left. It won't be above. So it would be down. It makes an orphan cell. Therefore, that is separate. This is a new piece. It's got to move away from the wall as a corner piece. Now, this piece here, there now has to be a new piece here that bends up. So this piece now has to take these, and now this dead end is screwed. Because we move in, that's it. If we move out, now there's an orphan cell here. Therefore, this piece straight across here. That's better. Get lighter. This, now this has to move down in some way, and to the right, because it will make an orphan cell otherwise. So we've got to take this as a P shape. This one has to move here, because if it moves up, again, that's the dead end, so it moved there anyway. And if it doesn't move there, it's a W shape. So it's these 4 for sure. Now over here, now this is a new shape, and it's got to take that one. I could take those if I take this one. Or I could take these. We don't know. Is there a brickiness anywhere else? Do I have to make another assumption somewhere? Well, this dead end actually has to either move down or to the right. So we can all automatically just block that off. Now, if this corner piece were these pieces, we'd be fine. If it was these pieces... Actually, if I do this here, if I block it, if I make this a separate piece, we're out. We can't do that. This actually has to be connected like so. So now this could bend out this way just fine. Actually, this has to move into this space. So this is one way to do it. Actually, if I bend this way, it has to be here. If I don't bend this way, what is going to go in here? There's not enough stuff. So I do have to make this the C shape going in. All right, this is the V shape. This now, we can't be bricky, so we have to move that up. This has to now be a T shape. Let's see. I can't do that. Can't do that, so I believe I have to take that spot. And then this is just it. That's a cool one. But like, there's just, you can only have so many cool ones before I'm like, can we just be done? Oh, there's 2 I missed. Great. What an anticlimax. Okay, 5s, and then whatever that is. Oh, dear God. How many is this? Is this 10 spaces? So it's going to be a 5 plus a different thing. I've got to figure out how it's done. So if I did like this shape here, if I said this was the 5, then I would have to make this the big one. But now I'd have to make sure that they didn't have a wall there. So this would be... Oh, I couldn't put a wall here. So if it was that shape ain't gonna work. So it'd have to be this shape, but this shape isn't gonna fit. So that's not where the P shape goes. Wait, how is it not where the P shape goes? If this is the other shape, it's gotta be, it's not gonna work. This is the only way. Right? Like, this is one way to do it. Or this is one way to do it. I need to have a spot like this sort of thing, right? But this is going to create bricky. That's just not going to work. Is there another way? Because I always need to have a 2x4 of available space to make this work. That's one way. This is one way, but it doesn't work. Is there any other arrangement? This kind of stuff would just be a disaster. Feels like that's the way. But then this doesn't work. This doesn't work. It's bricky. Maybe it's a bunch of P shapes on this one instead of maybe this one here is set. But then here I have a bunch of P shapes like, yeah, this is just, I'm just dumb. I made an assumption I should not have made on that puzzle. And that's how you're supposed to do it. You bait the player into making an assumption, then make them realize, nope, don't make that assumption. There's something more clever going on. And I'm surprised it came out of a puzzle that's as simple as that one, but it can. Usually it's on more complicated ones. But that was a good thing. So, and all regions must be one of these shapes. 26. This is a 9er? Okay. Let me start. If I try to fit, like, this is a shape, right? And this is a shape. But then it would force me to make a bunch of these. But if I said, well, if I did it this way, I would have bricky. I'd have to, like, make a thing. It's not going to work. If I did this shape here, I would have to then do it there. So that's not where that shape goes. It can't be this. It's more brickiness. What if it was this way around? No, because then that would have to come out there. This is one of those that's just going to be a pain. It's just a big sheet, and you just got to figure out how to stack them. And there's not like, oh, let me work out mathematically or logically. It's just, there's just, I don't know. This type of puzzle is just annoying because I know the game has told me I don't have to guess. But this is the type of puzzle that every solution is going to feel like a guess. It's just going to feel that way. And my feelings are more important than the facts. That's just, no other way to say it. That's just how games are. How I feel about solving the puzzle is the truth, and what the game designer says about the puzzle is always a lie. It's what I feel about it. That is what it is, and I feel I'm going to guess. I'm just going to guess this. Here is one way to make this, but like, whatever I do with this shape is going to create bricky unless I make the other shape interlocking with it. I have to find a way to interlock them because I can't just do solos. So if I interlock, it have to be, no, like this sort of thing, but now there's nowhere to put it here. Because this isn't bricky down there. It's just that I can't put the shape up there. So yeah, it's just a shape fitting puzzle, and just you gotta just try every possible shape and see what fits. It's just what it is. I just don't know how else to say it. You just there's not a thing of like, oh, look in this space. It's just, okay, try this. Okay, try that. This is the only way this interlocks up here, but there's no interlocking down there. So there's got to be another spot. This is closer. This isn't bricky. Oh, hold on. This isn't bricky. This isn't bricky, but that is. Is it the other way, perhaps? No, I did this already. This is going to be bricky all over the place. This way doesn't, no. I'm trying to get it to go around. like this. Did that already. If I go the other side, that's that. Yeah, I did that. Okay, I did that. It's hard to see. Sideways, maybe I can do it. Like this isn't a... No, sideways I need more space. I need 5... Like, to interlock these, I essentially need a space 5 wide and 4 long. Not entirely, but, like, that's what I need. So, 5 by 4 space. So this is a 5 by 4 space, and this is a 5 by 4 space. And I just don't see how you do this in any other way than what I'm doing. So, like, there's also, like, putting a piece here and then doing this, but it's not going to interlock. Could that be done somewhere, like, down here? That's not quite. Let's try the other way around. Let's try if I... Oops. This way. I could put a single piece in here and then do that. And this would avoid the brickiness. But do you see what that was? That was me trying a bunch of stuff until I got there. This wasn't me sitting down and going, okay, because of this, we can infer that we do this, and then this shape that can't go here because of this rule. It was, here's all the ways, take your pieces, stick them together. I feel like I'm a 4-year-old with a fucking shape block set again, and you're just trying to stick all the blocks in until you get one that works, and that's how you learn the shapes, right? It's like I'm being taught shapes, and that's, I guess, fine, but it means it's a guess. That is just what that is. That's like definitionally guessing until you get it. I don't know. Maybe you're a brilliant genius. Maybe you're so much smarter than everybody else. Thank goodness there's people like you in this world, and you can look at that puzzle and go, well, logically we can determine this thing. No. Most people aren't going to get that. Most people are going to do what I did and guess. That's just what's going to happen. I'm irritated by that shit. All right. Well, 2s, 3s, and 4s. What's this one going to be? Well, this is any of them. I can do this. I can make two. These are going to be 2 2s. If I did it this way, all I'd have to do is put walls here, and that's fine. Same with this. If I move these across, it forces walls here. If I do it the other way, if I say these are the shapes, I would force... Yeah, that's it. There we go. I can't do this. I can't have these be the shapes. Because now I can't make bricky. So I'd have to put these together. But now we have... These are both dominoes. This is either a domino breaking the delta or it's not a domino breaking the Gemini. So that is, in fact, we got to put 2 in like this. And then we have to also do this. Right? Because we can't do it here either. Because we'd have to do that. Just checking. Nice. Good start. Let's do that. It means we do have to put walls here. This has got to be at least 3. Sorry. I have temporarily mixed up Gemini and Delta. So keep that stuff in mind when you hear me complain about what games should be, that I am very, very stupid. So this cannot be a domino. This has to be at least 3 here. This has to be at least 3 here. In fact, it's going to just be a 3, because it can only go that far. That makes this a 4. 3, 4. This spot here is a domino of some kind. So either goes like this kind of stuff. Oh, we can't have a wall here. So we got to have a domino like so. This could also be a domino, or we could go further. We don't know. These are done. We can't have this here, so that's got to move up for sure. That means this piece is going to move up and down. This has to be a domino. And that means this also has to be a domino, and it has to move up and down. This could, well, could move up as well. I just know this could be larger than a domino. We could move that, or we could end up with this sort of thing. This is at least a 3. This is at least a 3. And that's at least a 3. This has to be domino. This piece is going to have to extend that way, or that way. Do I have brickiness? There's a problem. I have to make these 2 part of the same thing. I can't, this has to be at least 3, because if it's not at least 3, I have brickiness there. Therefore, I got a 3 there. I got a 4 here. Makes a 4 there. Nice, nice. Okay, cool. I'm onto something. This has to be at least a 3, which would make this a 4, or this is a 4 and that's a 3. So it all depends on what I see down here, because this could be a 3 and this could be something else. All right, I can do this. I can do this all day. This has to move over. Oh yeah, this can't go here because then that would be a domino. So we do have to bring this. That's a domino here. Now I can do this or that. It's totally fine. So this can't move in because we're going to block that. That's got to at least do that. This got to move over at least there. This... Well, no, hold on. I've just made an assumption here I shouldn't make because I was saying these are separate units. This can be part of that unit. We can move this up and make that part of that unit. No, let's find something else to bitch about. Let's go here. That's got to be that, which means we can't have that. These are got to be connected. That's here. This has to be a domino. We don't know which direction it goes. Because it could be that. Could be this. It'd have to be a 4. This can't be. Well, if these are like that, I actually do have to have a wall here. Because I can't bring that like... Yeah, I gotta have a wall there, which means this does have to move up. It's at least a 3. Well, it could be a 4. So whatever's here is moving up. At least that far. But we don't know where else it goes. If this moves up here, it's got to move all the way. Because if it doesn't, then we have a problem. So either we put the wall there, in which case we do have to move this here. Or we move this all the way up. Don't see a problem with either of those solutions yet. This moving down would force this up. This piece, this could be a domino. Or a 3 piece. If it's a domino, we just know that's not, but we can put dominoes in a bunch of places. This will also be 3. Which I could... There's a lot of ways out of that. This is at least 2. This can't be... Ah, here we go. This has to be at least 3. In fact, it can be a 4. Because it can't move right or left, because it's going to have a problem. It's got to go all the way up here. So now this does go up. This moves. This is a 4. I have a few options here, don't I? It looks like I have multiple solutions here. Ah, no, Bricky can't go there. So I got to make this... Yeah, I can't have this be a 3, because if it's a 3, then these are 2 3s. So... Or they're 2 2s and a 2. So this has got to be a 4. This has got to be a 3, and then this has got to be a 2. There we go. That's right. Done. Now over here... These got to go together. And they just got to be a 2. There's no getting around it. Is this a 3 or a 4? That's the question. This has to be at least a 3. And if it was a 3, it'd be like this. Because it can't connect to this piece. So it's got to be a 4 moving up. That's what's got to be. That's got to go there. And now... Don't want to have Bricky, so this does have to move up. Then this has to be its own thing. This has to be a 3, and then we have 2s. There we go. Cool puzzle. How close are we to... Oh my god, there's still 9 more. Let's do another one. Let's do... Is there any more that's like not 6 yet? I'll do a 6. I'm just going to try to get rid of all the other ones. Too fucking many. A 3, dear lord. Okay. So this right here is the L shape. It's either that or that. Either way, it's got to come out. It means that's the O shape. It means that's it. It means that's the O shape. Okay. Now, if this is an L shape, we're boned, because it's not only bricky, but it's not going to escape. So the O shape has to come up here. Now, we can't have this around bricky, so that's how we're going to do that. It's got to be the L shape there. This also has to be the L shape. This has to be L. We can still do something like this. Or that, not sure yet. Ah, I gotta move that down so this doesn't go over. This is in fact like this. That's here. This is L. That can't be, so we could move it this way just fine. No, this can't. We can't do this. Because this is going to block in wrong, and this is going to create a problem there. So, we can't have this be the same thing. So that's that. Oops, hold on, other way around. There we go. Nice, okay. Look for more. I'm going to tab over to make sure I'm not missing any easier puzzles. 6s, because there's now only 8 of them left, which I'm not going to do today. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's one somewhere. 6. Right, I see these 3. These 3. Ah, there's 2 more hidden away. There's a 3 and a 2. Okay, we're just going to do those. That's probably going to be the end of it today because it's been about an hour again. Jeez, it's just too long. It's too fucking long. Okay, that's that. Let's see. This can't happen. So that means this either is here or there, but it's not connected to this piece. So this piece is now going this way. This can't move to the left. There you go. This is going to have to be this way to avoid brickiness there. That's going to go there. So yeah, this is taken care of. Nice. Right, then there's just 3 here. Just L's. God, okay, fine. Fine. It's just, when you see this big shape here and there's just the one thing to do and it's just wide open, it really, the game is pushing you to start doing this. Okay, well, what if you know what I mean? It's pushing you in that direction. Actually, does this break? Yeah, it breaks there. In fact, this will always break right here. So this can't happen either, which means these 2 are separated. Okay, that feels like the only thing I can do. And now we're off to the races here. Yeah, see, like, that's how you solve these. That is what you do. It's just that. That is not interesting. Okay. And because there's 1,200 of them, there's 1,200 of them. So when you have the non-interesting ones, I look at it and go, you're wasting my time. There's so many of these. If you just cut 300 to 400 of them, at minimum, you can get rid of these. These are not helping. It's not like this is helping me understand Bricky. I've already understood about as much as I'm going to understand with this. It's filler. These are just filler puzzles. Put them in the DLC or just make the level editor and one of us is going to make it. It's going to happen. People are going to make their own puzzles. Somebody's going to stumble upon this one. It's just, it'll get out there. You don't need to fill your game with this. My God, I have spent, this is video, we're in the 80s. We're in the 80s on videos. I'm getting toward 100 hours on this game. It's too much. It's too much. It's taking away my enjoyment of it because I'm just trying to be done. I'm just trying to push through these. And so, like, just give me some puzzles. Let me get out of this. But there's still more of this. I'm still not done with the compass section. I'm still not done with the other sections. I still haven't checked out the 2 final areas, the post-game parts of the game. It's just, I will get through this. I don't want to leave this unfinished. I want to finish it, but it means I'm gonna do this. I just...